I hope you're freaking happy, James. I don't know where the site is anymore. Ikiko marry him? That's so wrong. Is this foreshadowing? It's the house! Run, fanbase! Run away! They're aware! Instead of she's always been here, she never left. Now, unlike all the other times, I suspected that we would have an update today. Hi everyone, this is Jen, and welcome back to more, yes, Homestuck Beyond Canon. Okay, I'm gonna be real. I had a shift at work today, so I didn't get the chance to see any 413 live streams of any kind. I know that the Homestuck team was live streaming for a bit today, and I know that Crimson Ruse was basically, you know, explaining Homestuck to his audience, so... Oh my gosh. But I was busy this week too. On social medias, if you hadn't been paying attention, I had been posting like nostalgic videos from like my like younger Homestuck days. Like, oh gosh. I didn't want to put Ugly Story on that list. Oh my gosh, I did not want to put Ugly Story. That freaking, oh my gosh. But as soon as I like remembered that it existed, because I saw Miriam, I was like, oh, I remember Miriam, and I'm like, wait, wasn't there an Eridan one? I'm like, oh gosh, Eridan, Ugly Story. I'm a prince and I live in a ship and my gun and a shoot from the hip and I have a friend I pity quite a bit. And I was like, 3 days later, it's still in my head, and I'm like, you win, you win, you win. But I still have like a list of stuff that I didn't include. Maybe I'll save that for next year. I don't know. It depends. It depends if these videos still exist. There was like a couple of them, like a couple of videos that I wanted to include more, but for some reason or another, they're gone. The internet wiped them away from existence. The original posters, I guess, were like, this is embarrassing, this is so cringe, and they erased it, and I'm like, no, 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 that's what I loved about it. Bring it back. I'm like, bring back, I want to see it. I want to see it's about to go down. I want to see that. With Dave Strider and Doc Scratch. Oh gosh. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling on my end. Let's just get into this, man. We still have the news update from April 1st to get through. So, let me just adjust my mic. And let's go. Hi, James here. You might be wondering, hee-hoo-hoo-hoo, I wonder what trickery and mischief the Homestuck Beyond Canon team has cooked up for me on this most devilish of days, because it's April 1st, right, of this. Fortunately for everyone, I have no elaborate April Fool's Day joke for you. It is my most sacred belief that you can be a fool any day of the year if you have a prankster's heart. Aww. We got a pretty important date to celebrate coming up this month. That's right, my birthday is this week! Aw, did I miss James Roach's birthday? Happy birthday, James! Oh, and I guess the 15th anniversary of Homestuck. That's right, 413, baby! On 413, the team and I are going to be doing a little community stream. The plan is to draw together on a shared canvas, answer some questions, and maybe play a game or two while just casually chatting with you guys. I know a handful of other people have 413 streams planned, so we're keeping it pretty cash. Hope to see you there. We'll post more details soon. In Homestuck Beyond Canon news, we had a long meeting yesterday finalizing some big in-comic events so we can get the ball rolling on production. Some of it is testing the waters on what we're able to do as a team. I think you'll really like it. Okay. If you're subbed to the Patreon, we did a poll over there a while back and it looked like people were overwhelmingly in favor of spreading out the bonus content over a span of the month or so. So if you don't see your usual tier reward just yet, don't worry, we're thinking we'll try out a weekly drop. If that doesn't work, we'll just go back to doing it all at once on the 1st. As always, thanks for reading. See you a bit later this month. Yeah, very exciting, very exciting. Now let's go to this first, oh man, this is a long one. Oh geez, look at this. Oh no, oh gosh, they all had little sections. No! Okay. Oh, that got loud for a second. I'm sorry. Jen in editing. But I mean, big time, big year. Why not? Let's go. Okay, we can do this. I can't eat dinner until I get this done. Let's go. Hi, James here. A whole 15 years, huh? Like a lot of you, Homestuck has touched my life in a way I can't exactly quantify. Instead of just me saying whatever I want, this time around I wanted to let the team say a few words too. I'm still going first though. In the 15 years I've been here, my relationship with Homestuck has been a nuanced and complicated one. It has been by my side through incredible highs and devastating lows. It introduced me to the most important people in my life, as well as a cavalcade of villains. It's allowed me to grow creatively in ways I would have never dreamed possible. When I look back on just how often I've felt like I've been at what it felt like the end, it's fair to say Homestuck has saved me more times than I can count. So many of us got our start here. So many of us have used this space to push ourselves forward. It can't be overstated just how much of an impact this has all had on the very heart and soul of creative spaces. That has always been part of what has made it so special. Lately, things have been changing. I'm at a crossroads in my life that I don't quite know how to navigate, and it scares me, to be perfectly honest. When I see your support and I feel the love this community has given us, it makes it feel a little easier. It makes it feel a little more manageable. To quote my favorite character, I am very much alive, and I intend to stay that way. Ah, he's an Aradia fanboy. Okay. It is, well, that makes sense. Sorry. I'll finish his the statement. It is such an honor that I'm able to keep this going, even just a little bit. You all mean the world to me, and it's my absolute privilege to be here with you. James, director. That makes sense, because I'm remembering in Hive Swap Act 1, where we got to see the music team Easter egg. That is still like my favorite Easter egg. That Easter egg where they just showed the music team people, like Toby Fox and James and I think it was Malcolm Brown. Yeah, dog. And I was like, oh, Arati is not an only child. And that's because that was James. So I'm laughing that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now let's see who's next. Kim. Okay. Kim's, dang it, son. I don't remember who any of these people are. Okay. Kim is the art director. Very good art direction, by the way. It's crazy to think when I first started reading Homestuck, I was literally the same age as the beta kids at the beginning of the webcomic. Oh, that feels weird. I was reading this in my 20s, man. I was, my prefrontal cortex had formed and was fused and it was perfect as I guess it could be at that time. So, anyway. Back when the comic was still actively updating, a particular detail I always found endearing was that the characters would age in real time with us in-universe as well. Every time it was April 13th IRL, it was actually John's birthday within the comic as well. It's like we were all celebrating his birthday with him. I was celebrating 4/13 all the way from when I was in middle school, through high school and college, and now I'm all graduated and grown up. From being a sparkly-eyed tween fan to years later actually getting to contribute to several official Homestuck projects like the games and even the official sequel, it wouldn't be completely unreasonable to say at this point, I quite literally grew up with Homestuck. And just as I've grown up and changed so much throughout the years, so has Homestuck evolved. It's been quite an incredible 15 years this webcomic has come this far. Let's see how far we've come. Sorry, that's another song for next year. Not just because of the official means too. It's all thanks to the fans out there, new and veterans, who are just as passionate about the story and the characters as we are. Now that's what I call a culturally impactful piece of media if it manages to stay with people this long. Something we always find ourselves coming back to. Thank you, and happy birthday, Homestuck, for such an inspiring 15 years, as both a webcomic and a fandom. Let's see how many more years we can keep this dream alive. Kim. Emotional about a webcomic. Next we got Miles. Miles is one of the writers. Hey guys, Miles here. On this most holy of days, I want to take the opportunity not to only to celebrate 15 years of this beloved, incredible story, but to really contemplate my place in it. All of our places in it, really. Homestuck has been with me almost as long as it's been around, since I got sucked into it a decade and a half ago as an impressionable, insatiable teen. And as a writer, it's perhaps a personal failing that I can't fully put into words how indescribably important it has been in my life. Creative influence, long-lasting friendships, and of course, the most basic level, just real love for the story, characters, and world. I owe so much to Homestuck. So many of us do. It's a beautiful mind F. I could gush on and on and on how much I love it and love loving it and love watching other people love it, but being here actually writing it makes today even crazier to me. I got brought on last year and freaked the F out. If you told 16-year-old Miles that this was happening, he would probably have had a heart attack or done some kind of weird somersault and broken something. He would have flown off the handle. It is an actual literal dream come true, and it's a dream that's only possible because Homestuck loves its fans as much as we love it. What an effing miracle. I am unfathomably grateful for the opportunity. Gosh darn it, I love Homestuck. I love it with all my heart, and I hope as we run with it, you guys can see that love and maybe feel new permutations of it yourselves. There is so much more coming, and it is legitimately one of the great honors of my life that I get to share it with you all. What more could a Homestuck fan possibly ask for? Thank you so much to the team for putting up with my nitpicking and constant editing and letting me write insane crap and do this to you. I love that. I would do that too. Thank you, Andrew, for something. I forget what. Writing something, it'll come to me. Thank you, every Homestuck fan who ever was, for making the past 15 years that much more colorful and exciting, and for loving what I love. Thank you to the fans who love us now, and even those who might be on the fence right now. We'll do all we can to make this an adventure worth remembering. And thank you, of course, to Homestuck itself, without which I would probably be an unrecognizably different person. Happy birthday, and with any luck, many more. Miles, who's sorry for rambling. Don't you dare apologize, Miles, you brilliant human being. Anyway, who is next? Chumi. Chumi's one of the artists. Happy 15th birthday, Homestuck. You're 1 year older, and so am I. I had no idea that Homestuck would become an even bigger part of my life, and this is something my younger self would never have imagined either. Really, this is a dream come true. My 13-year-old self would be losing her mind, and I'm happy to be doing her proud right now. Mind you, I'm 26 now. That still hurts. That's still too young. Okay. I've been here for like 13 years. I graduated middle school, high school, college, lived through a pandemic, and now I've entered graduate school as a Homestuck. WTF. I've made sappy tweets about this before, but Homestuck was the start of my art everything. My first fandom experience was Homestuck. I made my Tumblr so I could meet other fans. I started to draw on a tablet because I wanted to join in on the fun, experienced the golden age of 2010's Homestuck, and now I'm here, over a decade and some change later. My life was forever changed in a huge way because of this fandom, which is crazy to think about. Maybe I would have gotten into something else, but I would have emerged a completely different person, which is such a strange thought. Isn't it crazy how influential pieces of media can be to your entire life? Super Hulak Chumi would have existed in another universe. I have never watched any of the episodes of those shows. That hurts my heart. I mean, this is coming from someone who's just watched Doctor Who. So, no, my friends were, other friends of mine were super Hulaks. Definitely. Honestly, I can't imagine my life without Homestuck in it. Homestuck is the fandom for me, and it always will be. I started here, I've been here, hopefully I'll continue to be here for years to come. Thank you guys for your support, past, present, and in the future. Right now, I'm trying to hold on to these memories as tightly as I can, so I can cherish this time for a long time to come. Sorry. The thought of holding on to memories, that gave me Night in the Woods flashbacks, and that's not a good thing. Anyway, where May's like, I want it, when things get ripped from me, I want it to hurt. And I'm like, no, May. Anyway, I'm working with a bunch of amazing and creative people, my friends, on a project that I love dearly. Thankfully, Homestuck Beyond Canon is still in its infancy, and there's so many new things to look forward to. Cheers! And on to the next update. Shimvi, I like being sappy, and everyone's notes are making me a sappy. Who's next? Andi, who's stuck at the airport? Andy's another artist. Happy birthday, Homestuck. You've been one of the few reasons I kept doing art. The many reasons I felt that I could take on anything creative if I put my mind to it. I've been in this thing since I was 13. Many of my friends above me have already said a whole lot of what I was thinking. That's something as innovating and engaging as Homestuck has undeniably been a part of our lives in significant ways. Not just for me creatively, but as well for helping me come to terms with my identity. With the diverse cast first showing me that it's possible to be a lot of things and it is okay. Diving into this universe was like a sanctuary to help me escape the less merciful parts of the world. I've always felt that if I had been like one of those kids and got to experience a game that sent you off on a fantastical journey, I'd fit in so seamlessly. The world of Homestuck does not discriminate between its players The world of Homestuck does not discriminate between its players to the dynamics and personal characteristics you bring to it. Your desires, strengths, and weaknesses come from your primary quests along with your personal rewards, and to me, it was a dream to be able to escape to a place like that. How insane that I found those stakes to be preferable. All this to say, it got me through the toughest years of my life when I was younger. Older me has still enjoyed delving and exploring such a world with endless ideas, and it's surely carried over to my own ideas and projects. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal to be able to grow up with your favorite characters in real time, and I'm so happy it was Homestuck to be that experience. I am extremely beyond proud of my team and all their combined strengths, creating such awesome, ambitious work. I know that they worked really hard, so please let them know your appreciation anytime you can. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us as long as you did and sticking around, hopefully to the end. Andi, currently stuck in the airport. Airport stuck. Dun 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 dun. And Con Air is playing in the Anyway, Floralmarsupial, one of the writers. You can't forget that, a name like that, let's just say. It's truly wild that this time last year, last 4/13, I really had no idea we'd be in this position and making something we all love so much. We've all lived through the same day so many times. Every 4/13, we got to see a different version of us as we progressed and grew through life. My artistic journey in particular can be organized into a 12-year slideshow based on work just for this dang holiday. It's funny, even at my most unmotivated or pessimistic about art, I could always find the will to draw more Homestuck. Obviously, I have a lot to owe to these comics. They were integral for me in understanding what I love about stories, what I hate about stories, and what my own authorial voice is. It was one of the first works I encountered that asked me what a story was, what a story could do, and what I expected this or that when anything really could happen. Honestly, a game changer. I feel like I'm talking all over the place because I am, but the baseline is that I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the comic and to all the people responsible for making it happen over the years. I'm grateful to have a job that is so rewarding to work on and a team that is so genuinely and inspiringly passionate. And I'm grateful for all the friends I made along the way who were attracted to the creativity of the comic and in turn have poured creativity back into the community tenfold. Ultimately, I've changed for the better because of them. Every 4/13 that passes, I get a little more grateful, a bit better at art, and a little older. And now I'm excited to see what every new 4/13 brings for this crazy effing story and all the beautiful people that care about it. Floralmarsupial, outside breathing air. She's touching grass. Someone stop him. Happy birthday, Homestuck. It's Haven. Who's based? I forgot what Haven does. 2 seconds. Another artist. Let's go. Happy birthday, Homestuck! These last few months have seriously been like a dream. It's impossible to overstate my love for Homestuck. It still feels real that I get to be here doing this with friends, no less. Eternally grateful to be able to give back to this story that's given me so much. I grew up alongside these characters. I started reading Homestuck back in 2011 when I was 13. That hurts. I was 19 or so in 2011. Oh gosh, I got lightheaded. Okay. Murderstuck was in full swing, and I kept seeing fan art on DeviantArt, and I had to see what all the hype was about. Oh gosh, I don't want to know. I'm thinking of Heinous Stuck, but Murderstuck is something different. I distinctly remember running into my home ec class in 8th grade to gush about the newest update with my friends. Being 16, sneaking into the computer lab during lunch to check if one of the Act 6, Act something intermission character select screens had updated with more options. Running back to my college dorm because I got a text that the Act 7 Flash finales dropped. I mean, I was in college when Act 7 dropped too. And I showed it to like someone who was like on the fence about Homestuck, and I'm like, you don't understand, look at this art. And she was like, holy crud. And I'm like, yeah. I don't think she ever read it. Anyway, 13 years of my life have been spent talking about, arguing over, and losing my mind about this story and its characters. 13 years later, and I still can't shut the heck up about Homestuck. I don't think I could live without it. Haven, still stuck at home. Yay! That was great. Way to go, guys. Way to go. That was so cool. I wish I actually prepared something to write about rights. I didn't think to do that. Ah, man, 15 years is like good though. I mean, I did post on like the socials, the Twitter, the Facebook, and even on YouTube, even though their social media sucks. That, sorry YouTube. Okay. I was just like, man. Glad you guys are here for the journey. I know this channel would have been wildly different. I've stated several times I wanted to be a PokeTuber. I wanted to play Pokemon games. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to take it like a more analytical view of things. But then I just I felt like straight into this fandom on accident because I let my reaction to Game Over out into the public for hitting like, what, 50 subscribers? Oh man, and that changed forever. Did you know that video actually isn't making any money anymore because YouTube's policies changed and they're like, people are dying in this scene. And I'm like, yeah. And it's like, and you swore at the start. And I'm like, yes, I did. And they're like, well, goodbye monetization. Get yellow marked. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, crazy to think about, eh? Crazy to think about. So, art team, James, if you guys are watching this, thanks for doing this. Thanks for, like, stepping out and, like, trying to, like, do this. Trying to make, you know, Homestuck relevant again. Trying to make Homestuck beyond canon really, really good. I'm hoping it does get better. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. We've only just started. Things are gonna start out tough at the start. That's just how freaking like I know the like my freaking journey. I know my Joseph Campbell. Okay? I know my Joseph Campbell. I took an entire class based on Joseph Campbell. I hated that professor. He made us sit in the rain. He made us sit outside for like a homework assignment, and it cost us 40% of our grade. And I'm like, are you serious? And that class was not a cakewalk. Anyway, we should get going. We've got... Oh, I can see all the things! You're showing all of them now. Yes. Let's freaking go. Okay. So it looks like, yeah, I already saw from like the Twitter like image. We're gonna be with Dirk. We're gonna see Dirk and Rose apparently. So let's freaking go. And Dirk, say hello. Look at him. Look at him. What's with the fingers, my dude? Oh gosh, the shoes. The shoes. And his legs are partially bandaged. Oh, this nerd. Well, look who comes crawling back. Had your fill of splashing around in the narrative kiddie pool? Sick of its sterile, chlorinated, artificial reek? Its mind-numbing placidity, punctuated only by the occasional thrashing tantrums of whining effing crybabies and the shrill rebuke of the lifeguard? Ready to take the floaties off and dive back into the depths of the churning primal ocean from which everything that matters in this story evolved, to which it must inevitably return? Dude, don't say anything. You got Gatorade and Fanta, and you got a very old modem, but at least you can burn CDs. That I appreciate. Oh, and he's watching the guys on the other channel right there. How many streamer setups do you have? Look at all the monitors. What walls are they attached to? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. 2 seconds. First, of course you are. Come join me. The water's fine. Is this getting cut off? Okay, hold on. I was trying to make this bigger, but now I have to make it smaller. So we could read the text. Did that... Okay, good. It didn't, like, ruin anything. Good. Okay. But look at this. I'm sure this is a reference that I am completely missing. But man, look at all the freaking... You gotta run the internet somehow. What are you cooling those bad boys down with? Do you have something that can cool down? Like this giant strand of... Oh gosh, what's the word? Are these... What's the word? What are these called? Modems? Are they modems? I don't remember. Anyway, let's continue on. Interesting choice with the shading here. It almost looks like... Well, I mean... It makes him almost like he's entirely made up of fur. At least it's more fuzzy around where, like, it's actually hair. So. But wow. Very fancy. Very schmancy. Oh no, it's a long diet in orange. At least I have the... I don't have the night light on right now. I'm gonna zoom back into 110. Okay. As you've hopefully gathered by now, things are happening again. They've been happening again for a while now, since a certain handsome somebody decided to get off his toned, muscular butt and ascend to godhood for the sake of getting the narrative and all his friends' lives back on track. You're welcome, by the way. But they're especially happening again, here and now. When you last left us, our contest had just begun. Rose and I were beginning the lengthy and convoluted process of engineering our own races to populate Deltritus, meticulously tweaking their genetic profiles and respective collective unconsciouses in an effort to create a species fit to conquer the next session of the game. Yeah, you're playing Spore. Well, I was. Rose dipped pretty early on in that visual montage to spend some quality time trading barbs and bumping uglies with the supposedly impartial proctor of said contest, next to the vacant meat sack that once housed her consciousness. Irresponsible, sure, but to give credit where credit is due, it was irresponsible in a poignant and symbolically weighty sort of way. Classic Rose. Rest assured, however, that since then she spent at least as much time throwing herself into work as she has cruising for the occasional caliginous bruising. It's been a pretty good time, to be honest. Every now and then I find her interest waning, but she's done an incredible job cooking up a witty retort of a race to the deep rhetorical questions posed by my equally, if not even more bombastically inspired offspring. She's proved herself a worthy rival and a worthier collaborator. Her patience for this particular stage of our grand designs is starting to fray, but it's just as well. Both of us have essentially done all we feel we can do to lay down solid bio-physio-psycho-sociological foundations for our chosen peoples. Rose's growing discomfort with and desire to move on from this process helps to curb an urge of mine that she's correctly identified as a deep-seated need to micromanage things I care about. A few days back, we both agreed that it's high time we get this show on the road, so we put the finishing touches on our Scions and are just about ready to drop them, kicking and screaming into the wilds of this beautiful, doomed planet. Yeah. Oh, it's one of those seahorses. One of Fef's. Actually, give me a moment. I need to fix something that's been bugging me. Dirk, render yourself in a more age-appropriate manner this instant. Oh! We get the aged up Dirk. Okay. Is this gonna be a thing? Is this gonna be a thing? Are all the adults actually gonna look like adults? Or are we gonna switch back to... Okay. Because I know on Candy Universe, the kids see the adults this way, but the adults don't necessarily. But they might have changed the rules. They might have changed the rules. Okay? There we go. We're adults for F's sake. Oh, it's Terezi. Hi, Terezi. Man, you're so thin. Just dang. Now all that remains is to Dirk. All that remains is to Dirk. Sign. What?
You're doing the thing again. And what's worse is that instead of at least having the decency to spout off about something new or interesting, you have instead chosen to waterboard the raw neutral tissue. Neural. You've instead chosen to waterboard the raw neural tissue of my think pan with an acid and with an acrid and superfluously overcarbonated narrative recap dump. Well, that's a recap for you. But for those who haven't checked in on us in a while, it's more of a stage setting thing. It's basically a recap for them too, idiot. Your inability to shut up even as you actively champion the need to get things moving would be almost awe-inspiring if it wasn't so astoundingly obnoxious.
Terezi, as you can tell, is still decidedly less enthusiastic about this whole shindig. Maybe she's feeling a bit unheard and insignificant, confronted with the reality-shaking splendor of two gods deep in their Genesis bangs. Bags? Dang it. Genesis bangs. Okay. Their Genesis bags, and with little time to entertain her trivial mortal misgivings. Maybe the magnificent gravity of this is lost on her entirely, as she seems to spend all her effort these days avoidantly trudging through a mire of self-pity and principles deadlock, instead of getting into the effing spirit of the moment a little bit, and appreciating not only the opening lines of a stupendously important chapter in the history of everything, but her privileged role in it. Maybe she'd prefer we just in media res this and skipped right to the yes, you petty vindictive jerk. I would vastly prefer that, especially given that it is something you explicitly promised that we would be able to do. Skip get in media resed. And we will. After Rose and I release our progeny into the Deltritis wilds, the three of us are going to time skip forward 10,000 years or so that we don't have to sit around twiddling our thumbs like idiots and waiting for our respective species to become sufficiently advanced. Even I'm not so much of a micromanager that I'd be able to keep myself entertained for a millennia with only Deltritis to play with. Nobody got the patience for that. Besides, we have other important stuff to get to. Also, you'd probably die of old age.
I'm about to die of boredom right now. So if you're finished monologuing and lecturing, generally being a self-satisfied paprika prick, it'd be grand if you drop your kids off at the dawn of civilizations, fire up your BS machine, and launch us into the beginning of the new session lickety-split.
It's oh, she said lickety-spit. It's lickety-split. Yuck. Lickety-split is a pony. I know this. I'm old. Anyway, I'm pretty much done monologuing, but I've got a bit more lecturing and self-satisfied paprika prickery in me, so you're going to have to sit tight for a bit longer. Blag. Don't you blag me. No, don't you blag me. You think you could just roll up to my grand and commencement speech and interrupt my triumphant expository flex sesh without taking some heat? Lest you forget, you've actually got a pretty important role to play in all this, taking up the helm at the command terminal, guiding the Deltritian civilization slowly but surely towards the game. A role Rose tells me you've chosen to automate. Yep. What? Oh, I love this frame. This is nice. It's just a little disappointing is all. Rose and I put so much work into whipping up some zany, adorable kind of screwed up little dudes, and the least you could do is attempt to give a crap about how they turned out. Or was all that hand-wringing about how you were worried that Rose and I were becoming big bad cosmic tyrants with no regard for the poor little mortals buffeted to and fro by the vicious momentum of our designs, just virtue signaling, or worse, foreplay? Wow, pretty low, Teresi. I expected a lot better from you. That jokey but not really familial guilt trip moo crap maneuver might work on Rose. It doesn't. But it doesn't mean crap to me. It does. But not that I need to bust it out of you. I know you wouldn't just abandon the Deltritians to the cruel march of time or whatever scant preparation you imagine we gave them. You don't trust Rose or I to give enough of a crap about them, and despite your occasional protestations, you are, for the most part, too good of a person to just turn your back on them and let whatever happens. I trust that the automated suggestions you put in place and the conditional map that prompts them were thought through with an honestly touching amount of care, considering your misgivings. There's no doubt in my mind that even if Rose and I hadn't already basically knocked this creationism crap out of the park, the sons and or daughters of Deltritus would make it to the game just fine, even with the barest phantom of your counsel. That's why I'm allowing you to do all this at all. I don't need your permission. Wrong. Oh, screw you. And for the record, you're also wrong in your assertion that we don't care about them. We do. I do at this rate. Yeah, your paternal generosity knows no bounds. Anyone would be grateful to have a benevolent creator like you, one that'll ultimately ensure their entire planet is orbitally bombarded and their species all but driven extinct, save for a few lucky juveniles. Oh, gosh. That's just how this goes down for species lucky enough to effing matter, Teresi. Circle of life, Hakuna Matata, que sera sera. And you know it. I don't know crap. Plato, nice. All of this hate on philosophizing, yet here you are, busting out the certified classics to counter my rhetoric. I don't know who Plato is, but if I don't know crap is the best he had to offer, he couldn't have been that worth studying. Plato was actually pretty awesome, but we're straying aside from the point. Yeah. Neoplatonicism is where it's at. Anywho. Or is it Neoplatonicism or I can't remember my philosophy. It's been a bit. Anyway. Originally, the plan was to pop in every couple hundred years to check on the Deltritian race's progress and give you a bit of time to guide them manually, which I maintain would have been pretty fun and would encourage you, probably fruitlessly, to consider giving it a go. But hey, you say you aren't feeling it? Fine, I can make concessions. I've got other agents in play, and as I've said, I know you aren't gonna risk effing your end of the work up. He's got other agents. Who else is here? How can you be sure? Maybe extended proximity to Strylon delusions of grandeur has driven me to the breaking point. Maybe I'm just laying low.
earning your trust so I can completely ruin your plans for another session, doing all I can to turn Skaya's attention elsewhere and disqualify this planet as a candidate. Not only to protect the untold millions of future Deltritians you plan to pulverize, but also for the satisfaction of shattering that stoic deadpan of yours, if just for one delicious moment.
Nice. Dramatic. Why is it upside down exclamation points? Must feel pretty good to imagine, huh? But you won't. I'm sure, Terezi, because if you did, I'd just have to take you out of the picture and start again. Not that you value your own life that much right now, though you really should, but you and I both know you aren't here because I need you. You're here because you need me. You need this session to happen. You need a chance to fix the mistakes you've got in that wallet, burning a hole through your pocket. John! I mean, I still stand by the fact that she could have just gone to, Jane and been like, hey, John is trapped in this wallet. When people are trapped in the wallets, they're stuck in a, space-time. They're locked in space-time. So it's like they're not aging or decaying at all. You can recover John right this instant. If Dirk can get decapitated, Dirkapitation, and be revived, I think Jane can handle it. Unless cherub poisoning is a lot more dangerous. Let me just continue reading. You've made a lot of those, Terezi, but you know that besides being important, what you're doing here is a chance to rectify one of them, and you aren't going to let that chance slip. I know what it's like to make hard choices for the people you care about. To run your brain raw thinking about how to make things right. I've been doing it my whole dang life. The choices you're presented with here is pretty effing easy, and you're a very smart person, so I trust you to make the right decision. That's all. I don't really feel like pontificating at you anymore. Great. We're getting ready to kick this thing off, so all I have to do left is to ask you is, do you think you've done everything you need to do to prepare the terminal? We're counting on you. He's counting on you. Dirk, this is low. This is low. But dang, is he not well written. Let's go.
Yeah, everything's set up. I don't feel like being pontificated at anymore either, so I'm leaving. Once you and Rose get done philosophizing each other, let me know so we can get this BS time skip over and done with. I'll be in my chambers.
These are shared chambers, but whatever. Wait, if they travel through time, well, I mean, they got Dave. I'm like, wait a second. How are the other guys in meat right now? How are they going to reach them? But I'm like, Dave is a time traveler. It's easy. Makes it easy. Bumped. Dun, 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 dun. Straight lawns banter. Ooh, Rose is looking... The crown goes over the hood. The crown goes over the hood. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. She doesn't need to see. Rosebot. Okay. Looks like you're getting pretty good at motivational speaking. Well, someone needed to take the rust off her. She's getting nerves right before the big game. We're gonna make it to the We're never gonna make it to the Nationals at this rate. Ah, F the sports. How quickly I forgot them. There's gotta be some kind of sports penalty for forgetting the sports. Oh, definitely. I've been very bad and I need to be punished to preserve the integrity of the sports. Stop talking about sports and Rose, whatever you're talking about. Let's just slip into my sports judge mime outfit and get to laying down the effing sports law. Let's stop saying sports. Agreed. Speaking of outfits, though, look at you. You like it. It's chic. I dig the return of the hood. You could deliver a whole hell of a lot of cryptic prophecies out from under that sucker. Yes, well, I figured that if I'm to appear before our chosen peoples as a harbinger of their simultaneous doom and salvation, I may as well look the part. So, oh gosh, it's people-shaped. It's people-shaped. Oh no, it's people-shaped. Do you feel the part? It doesn't really matter what I feel. We have a job to do, and I'm trying to enjoy myself to the best of my ability while doing it. Trying, huh? Speaking frankly, I've grown tired of Rose gestures about the lab, the vats of our ectobiological triumphs and failures, blasé and almost weary in a way I haven't seen from her in a while. It calls to mind the exhaustion she felt before ascending, what must feel like a lifetime for her ago, rings faintly of mortality in a way that concerns me. This fussing over all the tedious minutiae of getting the baby's room ready. The prospect of this contest was entertaining to me for a time, but the longer it drags out, the closer we draw to the due date, the more it repulses me. I'm glad you agreed that we're basically done tinkering here. I don't think I've had much more patience for it. I can tell. I'm also glad you've elected to hear Terezi out is it via V? I never know how to pronounce this. Via V, the time skip, and save us the hassle of guiding the Deltritians manually. I know it must be hard for you. It'll actually be incredibly easy for me. Just time traveling forward is a no-go, as the frantic rate of our pursuers are hurtling towards us. They'd catch up to Deltritus far before it had the chance to birth any sort of civilization at all, and that'd be a mess, especially with us only due to a pop in millennia after the fact. We'd probably return to the planet totally unfit for game candidacy. Localized time travel, while technically possible, tends to get pretty effed even in the most ideal of circumstances, to say nothing of the fact that it's way outside my wheelhouse as a heart player. The concept works pretty well for my purposes, though, and as a burgeoning omnipotent narrative god, I can mimic it in a way that's functionally identical. The move here is that I'm going to envelop the local galaxy group in a pocket of my influence and narratively accelerate it via BS so that whatever's going on here goes on faster, so we can get to the good crap faster, so we can gone on with our jobs, and you gawking voyeurs have more time to greedily guzzle down. Why the galaxy group? Why not just the solar system, or even just the planet? My answer to that question is twofold. Firstly, I want the Deltritian societies to have a convincing view of their place in the cosmos, at least locally. What kind of civilization worth its soul-searching salt doesn't look at the night sky with wonder and curiosity in their hearts? It wouldn't do for them to exist in a world where the sun never sank down below the horizon, or where the stars didn't dance tellingly across the sky, revealing the kind of hard-hitting secrets only astronomy can. I got the song from the Oh Hellos stuck in my head. The Constellations song by the Oh Hellos. This fits so well. Anyway. Secondly, I'm showing off. I've been really coming on my own power-wise, and it's not just my heart abilities that have shot up a few exponentially longer echelons. Dirk. Of course, Rose isn't talking about the mechanics of the time skip. She's talking about the reasoning behind it and the lack of precise control over Deltritus' development that will result as a consequence of it. I just figured I'd take the time to address the how factor with you all before the pendants among you start making a fuss, acting like I haven't thought all this out. Yeah, you. I know who you are. Is he talking to me? Also, I'm stalling. Uncharacteristic of me, I know. Dirk. Sorry, I got caught up with something. Far be it from me to stand between you and your enigmatic somethings. You're welcome to stand wherever you like. Anyway, no, it isn't that hard for me. It'd be fun, but as I keep having to explain to people, I'm willing to compromise on certain points. Though I will say it's unfortunate to hear you making them instead of our complainer or on retainer. What can I say? I don't feel particularly inclined to play house right now. Not even with me, huh? Not even with you. Time skip, walking, da-da-da-da-da. Everything the light touches is our kingdom. Okay. For a while, neither of us say anything at all. Then, still silent, Rose turns and leaves the lab, a billowing steam of orange. I follow after her, at a respectable distance, and together we leave the mouth of the cave, making our way up the steps carved in the cliffside, as it now burrows it now burrows into, until finally cresting the plateau and wordlessly taking a seat together at the edge of the cliff to look out over one of Deltritus's vast and alien oceans. Wait, what's with the ocean, you might ask? A while back, it became apparent that while my Deltrinian offspring were to be terrestrial, Rose's were going to be aquatic. Interesting. Oh no, are they actually going to make the trolls on accident? That'd be funny. Back when I figured we'd have a more active role in their development, it felt appropriate to me that our base of operations would straddle land and sea, existing impartially at the precipice between the two competing worlds. I elected to transport, via BS of course, our humble grotto and the wreck of the Theseus into these cliffs overlooking the sea, that we might watch over our children from a locale more suitably dramatic and liminal than some effing plane in the middle of nowhere. Now, however, the effort, in as far as it was one, which it wasn't, seems to have been mostly in vain. No seagulls cry here anyway. Rose and I have made a lot of other filler fauna to help our species integrate into the local biosphere while working through our respective game plans, but I never got around to replicating or approximating seagulls. I guess I'm just not going to bother. Doesn't particularly feel like much of a home anymore. Well, that's a little sad, but that's like one of the things I have Earth Sea. That was like one of the things where I was like, hold up, does Earth Sea have animals? Like, when world building, okay, there is like this concept. It's called milk and silk. It's called that because you have to be like, okay, in this fantasy world, where do people get their clothes from? Like, how do they make them? Specifically, in this case, it's like, well, people get silk from silkworms. So there's got to be some sort of equivalent to that. But there's also milk. What do the people eat? What do the people, get resources from that we take for granted? Like, where the heck do they eat what do they eat? What is their meat? Are they all vegetarian? That can't be possibly. How do they make up the nutrients that they need? Because humans can't just live off veggies. They need to have vitamins and minerals to keep them moving and growing and continuing to survive. So, milk and meat, this has kept me up at night. Literally over, like, Earthsea logic, where I'm like, where the heck how do they bake cakes? How does Harry Anderson know what a zebra is for the zebra cakes he's so fond of? And the zebra print things that he has in his house. Does that mean Earthsea has zebras? Do they look anything like Luci? Do they have Luci on Earthsea as well? How do you keep the Luci from killing people? These sorts of things. These things. But that kind of like spilled itself into like my own, fan fiction, History Stuck. It's on AO3, where I basically was like, oh yeah, humans and trolls live together. That means trolls, do they have Luci? So anyway, back we go. As we sit side by side watching the horizon, Rose is even harder to read than usual. I begin to feel the twinge of a vexation that I've been all too aware over untold trillions of iterations of myself. A dread that's reared its head again recently. The fear that my plan isn't understood. My efforts aren't appreciated. That I'm alone again. I worry that she's slipping away, growing disinterested in our time together, and I'm not willing to lose her, so much as it feels like I'm admitting a kind of defeat. I'm prepared to make her... Thank you for taking me with you, Dirk. Worried for nothing. Yeah? Aw, hand touch. I may be less than enchanted with this stage of the work, but I know it's important. It's just straying dangerously close to a lot of things I'm trying not to fixate on right now. Wounds that are still fresh, for me as a sum, and for the myriad of lesions on my part. Home, family, petty little things, personal things. Those are important too. Not as important as this. For all my temporary discomfort with the prospect of settling down on Deltritus and starting what could very loosely be considered a family with you, I want you to know that my heart isn't what we're working towards. Technically, you don't have a heart. And technically, that sentence, like, starting a family with you is like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. That sounds wrong out of context. Shut up, and I'm happy to be here with you, not drifting around in a constrictive, small pond, getting caught up in trivialities like politics and celebrity and romance, but saving the universe. Relief pulses through me in an immense wave, relief and unfathomable, indescribable pride. It's almost paralyzing. I just sit here for a while, grateful for my shades and their ability to protect me from making eye contact with my daughter, who in this moment, as brilliant as the aspect that adorns her hood. I should tell her. Well, you're welcome. She scoffs at my bare-bones response. I'm forced to marvel at her ability to communicate so weirdly, conveying such a minutely specific blend of emotion as understanding, affection, acknowledgement, encouragement, admonishment, and so many more, all with the hardware of a literal machine. She's an incredible person. To my credit, I'm also an incredible engineer. At any rate, Rose might be beating my butt on the emotive front, but I'm still capable of articulating myself well enough. I'd better start soon or I'm going to begin to look like a real dork. I don't think there's anyone I'd rather be doing this with than you. The rest of them just don't have it in them right now to understand what it is that we're fighting for here. They can't even grasp the stakes. Even now they're on their way here, actively trying to stop us from saving them all. They'll probably catch us right before our entrance into the game, actually. I won't insult you by asking if you're going to be okay when the time comes to face them, demanding answers they won't accept with questions they aren't even asking, because I know that you will. I'm so glad to have you with me. I'm glad you understand. Oh, it's cute. Cute. That's so cute. Oh, no. I gotta find that. Oh, I need to find that image from What's Her Face. I'll have it on this screen. Okay. Anyway, I'm doing this for all of us. I'm doing this for all of us. Oh, and that's the end. Oh, that's the end of today's. Oh, this is the end of 413's. Okay. Okay. Well. That was entertaining, to say the least. Ooh, desktop audio is going. I'm gonna pause that. Okay, good. But wow. Way to make 413 really great, guys, man. Dirk is such a piece of crap, but right here, being vulnerable and stuff, he's growing as a character. He's like starting to like be less of the Tin Man that we've known him as. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing how this goes. I like that Terezi's like freaking there. And she's like, but Dirk's like fully aware, like, yeah, we know why you're actually doing this and it's for John. And I'm, oh gosh. Amazing. Oh man, the art is good. The story's good. Oh gosh. Oh man, slowly gonna start falling for this comic if I'm not careful. I'm still gotta be on my toes. Can't make this too easy. I'm still reeling from the previous administration. The nameless administration. The administration that shall not be named. Well, I guess we'll still see if the administration is still gonna be like that or not, where I'm gonna but it doesn't feel like nearly as hostile this time around. Previous administration felt more like they were like begging people to start fights with them and let drama ensue. This one does not. This is more of an appreciative kind of group of nerds, which I appreciate right back at you. So this has gone way long enough. Hopefully I want to get this video out before tomorrow the 14th, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to at this rate. I still haven't eaten dinner, man. I'm starved. Like, holy crud. But anyway, I hope you guys, off subject a little bit, I hope you guys enjoyed my 413 contribution. The like 2-parter Fridge Stuck episode with VTuber BRAINROT included. I'm laughing so much because one of the early comments that I actually caught was like freaking like, oh no, the rabbit hole, it claimed you too. The Jadon, my soul, came the heck out of nowhere. And I was like, Pecora laughed like, ha, 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 ha. No, that's not how Pecora laughs. She's like, ha, 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 ha. That's just a deeper like laugh of that. Oh gosh. I don't have much to say on the VTuber BRAINROT right now. I can't really think of anything like off the top of my head. I'm keeping myself from like mentioning a certain rainbow colored company very much. Though Fulgur playing Night in the Woods. Yes. He went down B's route too. Yes. Even though he kept calling her Bia. And I'm like, I get it, it's Beatrice, but you pronounce it B. So it's funny because like the group name is Maybe. Because it's May and B. So I'm like, But oh gosh. Such a dork. Such a dork. I just love the dorky men, okay? I need to, oh man, I still haven't caught up on like random nurring. He's playing Dave the Diver, so I might just catch up on like those streams and then like catch any Zatsus like after that. But yeah. But yeah, BRAINROT aside from VTubers, there's another BRAINROT as well. Freaking, okay, I hopped on Stardew Valley train. I'm on the Stardew Valley train, okay? I should have hopped on it a lot sooner, but I was having like analysis paralysis and I was trying to play the game on controller, which has like 0 tutorials for you if you're playing on like an Xbox controller. So I was struggling like heck. I just switched over to keyboard and everything's fine now. But goodness, the new update that they made, gosh, I'm in fall of my first year now, and I'm so freaking angry because I'm like, I wanted to complete the year I wanted to complete all the bundles in the community center in 1 year, and that's not gonna happen. I've missed too many fish. Too many fish. I don't have enough gold star fruits. So it is what it is. But I'm gonna try to go for Elliot for my husband. Nerdy writer wants a nerdy writer husband. Who would have guessed? Okay, well, this has gone on long enough, but I thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching up to the very end. Have a stellar whatever's left of 413, and I hope that you'll have an even better 413 next time. I'll see you guys all next month. Bye-bye.
Hey there. Consider becoming a patron, just like the phenomenal Alexandra Modelan and Dash.